Oh, hello there. Please hold. I always forget this. It makes a huge difference. Well, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. You're on the lifeboat. This is your captain, Calhoun speaking. How is everybody this evening on this fine Sunday, with my crazy hair? What do you guys think of that thumbnail, huh? We are going to talk about Sunday stuff. We're going to do some Sunday things today. I'm pretty excited. Russ Hampton, Christian B, Trish Ryan. Hey there, Trish. Welcome to the channel. It's nice to finally meet you, Trish. Ben Bacon Bits, hanging with Mr. Ray Ray, Kristen Melinda. I thought they were pretty good, Mr. Ray Ray. I thoroughly enjoy some homemade pickles, and the ones that Mr. Ray Ray makes are no exception. Spanx digging it for sure. Body Illusion. Hey there, how you doing? Brazy Girl. What's going on? Sandy Wandy. Good to see you guys. Sir Tedrick Walker. I did not notice. My feed is still full of it. I wonder why. Sir Tedrick asks, have you noticed the P. Diddy news has disappeared from mainstream news? I've been seeing a bunch of stuff about sacrifice today, is what I've been seeing related to the Diddy. The Diddler. P. Diddler. P. Diddles. Bum, 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 bum. Kristen Melinda, are you back from the grocery store? Shannon Smith, hey there, how you doing? Roberta, good evening. What's going on, guys? Well, I've had a pretty grand day, I have to say. And I don't mean grand like extravagant. Grand just as in good. Good, it was very good. I didn't do a whole lot, which is just the way I like it on the weekends. And from Massachusetts, I love making homemade Japanese pickles. I'm going to have to look that up. I am not familiar with what a Japanese pickle is, but I am a huge pickle fan, so I don't imagine that it's anything but delicious. Paying now. What, you're telling us you're not just running out with the groceries? Diddler showed back up in the news today. Yeah, I've been seeing quite a bit of him. And you know, the giraffe girl was not in my feed until I typed it in the search. So I did it to myself this time. But man, I went on the most giraffe rabbit hole today. Went down this giraffe hole. It was pretty wild. And I don't know how big of a fan of giraffes I am after watching all the bad things that they've done. Arye Schleider, hey y'all, just hopping in to say hi. I'm streaming on Twitch and our garlic and dill pickles came out great. Well, that's good to hear, dude. I still haven't popped over to check you out. Heather, good evening. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, I went down a giraffe girl rabbit hole, guys. I can't wait to share that with you. Kevin Hawthorne, Rona Cooley. What's going on, y'all? What is going on? I feel like I don't want to bust into the giraffe girl thing until Tara gets here, but I might have to direct her to the replay. She's going to be sad when she realizes that she missed the giraffe girl expose. I was trying to come up with what kind of fun thing we should do today. And then the giraffe girl kept popping into my head. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some research. I'm going to do some research on this giraffe girl, and I'm going to do a show on the giraffe girl. So that's what we're doing. It's not going to be a full show. We're just going to kind of talk about, because I had brought it up in passing and then dropped it. So I read the whole article and watched a couple videos, and now I'm ready to tell you about it. So it's not just some random thing that I said. And then, yeah, after that, maybe we'll talk about past trauma or past baggage showing up to haunt, and a couple different ways that that can go. What do you guys think? Sound good? It's a rhetorical question. Just kidding. But I do want to know how you guys feel. Seventh Son, good to see you, brother. Dish. What's this? What is this? Peckerwood. Rick Spicer, what's going on? Becca Jean, gonna catch the replay. Gotta make Becky's live. Well, enjoy. Tell them we said hello, huh? Send our best to Becky and Poe. Blessed to crochet. What's going on? Happy to see you. Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit. I guess there's no more waiting for Tara. We're going to talk about this girl a little bit today. And I have to, a little disclaimer, I was in making this. I like thought to myself, oh, this is a mistake. I'm going to end up laughing at this girl's dreams, which I don't want to do, because I'm a big believer in not stepping on people's dreams. And, if you believe in something, you should go for it and all that. But inevitably, I found myself laughing while reading this story. And I just want to say right out the gate, I'm laughing because it's funny. And I don't think I need to explain why it's funny because, it just is funny. You know what I mean? Like, when I laugh at something, I don't laugh thinking, haha, that's why this is funny. I laugh at something because it's funny. That's just how things are. And some humor is a little uncomfortable for some people, and some people don't get the same jokes that other people get, and that's fine. But inevitably, I'm gonna laugh while we're going through this, and just know that there's no ill will inside me. There's not a bad bone in my body. I promise. I think it's great that this girl chased her dreams, and I think it's also great that she made it out with her neck intact. You feel me? So but inevitably, I'm gonna laugh. Just don't get the wrong idea. I promise I'm not. I'm not a bad guy. So this girl, I don't know. It's like public knowledge. I don't think I want to say her name, but there's a whole article on her that I read, and this girl grew up. The article goes idolizing giraffes, or she was a big fan of giraffes and the long necks, and also at some point had seen an article or a what is it, National Geographic deal on tribes that put rings on necks. So she became fascinated with the rings, and also was fascinated with the giraffes, right? And this article is funny. It goes on into quite a bit of detail for not a whole lot of stuff, but that kind of describes her childhood. Here, we'll put a different image up while we're talking about her, right? Bum, bum, bum. Bear with me here. I'm going to try and use the share screen thing a bunch today. I wish it was quicker and easier. I need more screens. And, Restream doesn't do the same things that Streamlabs does. It's interesting. Anyways, so she's fascinated with giraffes and the necks and the rings, right? And this article goes on to it cites the Kayan people. She had a dream. It's quite a cheesy article, I feel like. But this girl's totally serious. And she ends up getting these rings put on her, right? Here's an image of actual tribal folk here. But she thought about it for a long time before doing it. And her parents thought it was when she was little, her parents thought it was a thing that would pass. No, it did not pass. In this girl's adult life, she went on to actually put these rings on, as you can see in these photos that we are looking at. Where's the one I'm looking for? Right here. Boom. Traditionally, this is what the deal is. She probably saw a photo something like this and thought it was really cool. She wanted to stand out. It goes on to cite that this was one of her passions, right? Chasing her dreams. She was a determined little girl. Goes into a quick history of long necks. So the problem with these things it looks uncomfortable, and it is. It's mighty uncomfortable if stories or accounts are to be believed. But it's not damage to the neck. It's the weight sitting on your collarbones and pushing and deforming of the collarbones, as well as pushing and caving in of the rib cage. Long-term side effects of this ring thing. Right? Pretty alarming. Pretty alarming. And, this girl also, it says, was very into outdoorsy stuff, hiking and running. And, after a few years of having these rings, she's realizing that not only does she not like to be famous, right? She can't go to the grocery store without. I mean, and I don't know what you were thinking putting the rings on, because regardless of if everybody knows who you are or not, I mean, the rings stand out, So if you didn't want the attention, anyways, I digress. I don't think that she expected the kind of attention that she was going to get, because it starts talking about how she didn't want to go outside, lost connection with her friends. It turned from like a dream come true to a nightmare walking pretty darn quick, and on top of that, she couldn't do these things that she liked to do, like running and hiking, and it's very uncomfortable to sleep at sites. I imagine that it was quite an understatement. So she ends up getting them taken off, but that's not before doing some modeling gigs. Check this one out. I like this one a lot. I think this is like a Marilyn Monroe cosplay or look-alike or something like that. I think that they were going for a certain look with this one, right? Check this out. With the boulder holders kind of going around the rings. I thought that was such an interesting, weird look. Like, I guess anything that goes on your neck has to go around the rings now at this point, right? Linda Lovelace would be jealous. Absolutely, body illusion. Absolutely. And in this article, it speculates on different reasons for the original, like tribal reasons for this. And one of the things that it said was that it was like it was to protect their women from getting kidnapped by neighboring tribes to make them look less desirable. And then an alternative conflicting account from a different tribe somewhere had said that it was to make their necks longer and more attractive. So the jury is out. Maybe it was different for different tribes, right? But I also see no difference in the tight corsets to get waisted 18 inches. It's not, there's a bunch of examples of this throughout history. And I don't know if it was Japan or China, but it was a tradition, ancient tradition to like wrap up women's feet so that they with tight cords so that or I don't know the method exactly, but they would basically stop the feet from growing so that they would have tiny little feet. And this obviously it turns out to be immensely painful. But yeah, there's lots of ancient traditions that involve deforming the body for a result that actually makes no sense. It's very, very interesting, very curious and intriguing stuff, I have to say. Alicia says, foot binding. The shoes, imagine these little baby shoes, but they're for your friend or your wife or your sister. Pretty wild. I'm going to read some comments and we'll finish the story. 15 custom copper rings that weighed 5 pounds. They made it so she couldn't do normal daily. Yeah. And it was brass rings. Brass rings. I think that the picture of her looking at the giraffe with the rings on is the best picture, in my opinion. I think that one's the best. She even had some like comic book stuff. I was gonna, or what is this? A section in Ripley's. I was gonna post that, but I feel like there's not a whole lot of meat and potatoes here. When she ended up getting it taken off, how do you guys think they took it off? How do you think they got those rings off her neck? I don't know if they're 5 pounds each. I did not get that information. But I mean, they're not light. And I mean, the long-term damage is it's going to slowly crush your collarbones and cave in your rib cage. It's going to push your bone structure down while your neck remains the same, right? So it's not a trivial amount of weight, that's for sure. Grinder, says Christian B. Ben Bacon Bit says, cut? I think she's beautiful with and without the rings as well. And what courage to go for a dream that no one saw the value in. You know what I mean? What courage to just chase your dreams and follow your heart. I admire that. And I think it's really cool that it didn't cause lasting damage, because that would be tragic. following your dreams led you to personal permanent injury. That would be terrible. How is my face today, Captain? Thank you for asking, Robin. It's all right. I did just take some ibuprofen. It was a little hairy earlier, but I made it through. I'm really looking forward to calling the dentist tomorrow and getting some closure, or at least like an appointment or something to look forward to. But it feels all right now. Feels all right now. I've definitely been thinking about it a lot. I think that I don't know. It's a scary thing. It's scary. So they did not saw or grind them off. Tommy Bird, I'm not happy with a certain store franchise I call a rip-off a center. They don't want to wake up my elderly dragon. He's been in stasis a long time, so he'll be PO'd. I'm not a big fan of rip-off a center either. I think that's a far superior name to the one that they actually have coined and trademarked. More accurate too. Jeremy Fowler, good evening. How are you? As you were, matey. Human pliers, I had to bend them off. I don't know, dude. That sounds rough. The grinder sounds rough. You gotta have a real steady hand. I don't even know. Wouldn't it affect the neck muscles, causing them to weaken? Absolutely, Jeanette Rexford. It goes on to talk about atrophy when they took these off. And it also says that these tribal, traditionally, if these tribal women were to take the rings off, because they start at the coming of age is when they start putting rings on traditionally. If they were to take the rings off after, wearing them for 30 years or something, their necks would most likely, I don't know if that's the wordage it used, but the fear is that the neck would break because there's not enough muscle there anymore, right? But where is this image? Let's pull it up. They used a chemical to melt cut. They cut the rings off with chemicals, basically. I don't know what the chemical is, but they basically put a chemical on there to melt through the brass. Let's go. Where is it at? Where's it at? So they're not in order. They should be in order because I ordered them, but every time I click back and forth, the order changes. Bah. This is whatever chemical they're using, cutting through the rings. And then my last image of this, and that's all we'll talk of it, is her after the rings were removed. If you guys care to see, there is deep, dark bruising on her collarbone. So if that is something you don't want to see, just close your eyes for like 30 seconds. But not yet. Hold on. I'm not gonna put it up just yet. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, if you don't want to see the bruising, close your eyes for 30 seconds, starting now. It's not that bad, but like at the same time, uh, I don't. It looks painful. It looks very painful. I can't imagine. Like that makes it look so much heavier than I thought it originally was. Who knows? Thermite, says Tommy Bird. Just blow her head off. I don't know, dude. But yeah, okay, the image is going away. The image is gone. So I thought that was an interesting saga, of dreams, chasing them, nobody believing in your dreams. You realize them, and then your dreams aren't what you realized they were. So, you make new dreams. Thought it was a really cool story. But also, I didn't laugh nearly as much as I thought I was going to laugh. I guess presenting it's a little more serious. I wonder if she's scarred as well. I'd like to hear like an account of this much time has passed. Now I feel like this. I would love to hear like how she is now. At the very, very end of the article, it says a stunning neck. It does. Still here. Am I here? Sweet. That whole time I was just singing, "Don't leave, I'm still here." My internet has been weird today, and I don't know what's going on. I think it's probably something to do with space or the weather or something. So that may happen. That may happen some more. I'm surprised it took 20 minutes to happen for the first time. I'm kind of sad Tara wasn't here for all that. It's okay. I'll direct her back to this vid later. Well, and that's pretty much all I had there. Kind of looks like a hickey from a kraken, though. Yeah, it does. If krakens kiss with their tentacles. Yeah, probably. I was gonna say probably sunspots and solar flares. It's been strange today. It has been strange today, I have to say. Um, has anyone else had anything of note happen today? That was pretty much the most exciting thing. I guess also I went down a rabbit hole like watching giraffe videos, and they're surprisingly violent animals. And every account that I looked into involved children and like being territorial, right? So like I get it, but I watched no less than three accounts of video accounts of giraffes trying to stomp people to death. And I don't know if it was one or two of the videos, but they succeeded in stomping people to death. The one that I remember for sure, the lady died protecting her dogs, like shielding her dogs with her body. And I was like, oh my, it was a very dark giraffe rabbit hole. I had to pull myself out. It was no good in there. Um, so I mean, giraffes are pretty cool looking, but they could really mess you up. I tell you what. I tell you what. There was like accounts of giraffes attacking families, all kinds of stuff. I'm back. I'm back. But yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit about the past showing up to haunt us, huh? We had some fun. We'll get just a little serious, and then we'll do Tink time, and then we can call it. So I can't remember why this came up. Travel safe, Shannon Smith. Travel safe. Smart and devious animals. It's scary to think that that creature is so smart. Like it's such an alien looking, weird, tentacular, just it's a strange, foreign, kind of scary creature, but also purported to be very, very smart. Uh, yeah, it's scary. It's scarier when they're smarter, I think. Happy birthday, 7th, to your baby boy, 29 years young. Let's go. That was a good year. I wonder what I was doing at 29. I feel like I was going to Burning Man at 29. I'm 32, so that was like 3 years ago. That was actually probably a really bad year for me. Who's counting, though? Who's counting? So I don't know why this originally came up in my mind. I was either prepping a show or talking to someone about recovery or something, and this like idea popped into my head. And so I figured I'd share it with you. So, I'm going to open it with a question. Do you ever, you're just going about your day, your business, whatever you're doing, nothing special, just business as usual, and then a thought comes unbidden into your head, just out of nowhere, and this thought's a memory that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's a memory you'd rather forget, right? And it just pops in and shows its face and kind of forces you to look at it for a second. You guys, does that happen to you guys too? An unbidden subpar memory, and a bad memory unbidden. I guess it doesn't have to be a memory, but it could be some sort of trauma from the past. Just kind of swoop, just kind of shows up in your head surprisingly, and then you have to do something, right? One time, my past showed up to haunt me with a garbage bag full of clothes and a puppy. Apparently, I'd forgotten being cool with it the previous night. I completely forgot because she fed me like 20 Xanax. That will happen with the 20 Xans, dude. I tell you what. Memory, what memory? And I figured it was going to be a resounding yes, right? Everybody can relate with this. So what do you do when that happens? My natural instinct is to run away from that memory. I'm like, whoa, I don't want to look at you. Go away. That's why you're in the past, bud. Let's stay on the awesome stuff that's right here. That's my natural reaction. My without conscious thought being applied, that's what happens. I just kind of shove it aside or try to ignore it. Or do you guys do that as well? I feel like for me, that has been not effective. I feel like for me that more than not effective, it has like been the opposite. I feel like that has worked against me. I feel like that habit has worked towards like those emotions building up and those memories kind of becoming more powerful and stronger. Now when they come up, it's a little bit more of an effect on me. You guys following me so far? So one day I had an idea. I don't know where this idea came from, but thank God I had this idea. What if I entertain this thought? What if I entertain this memory? I let the tape play through and I accept it and I just look it right in the face instead of running away from it. What if I just, like, it happened? It's real. You know what I mean? It's a part of my story. I can't run from it. It's there. It's always going to be there, right? So I tried that. And it wasn't very comfortable to do. Hence why what is going on with my eyelashes? Hence why I was probably running from it, right? Because I knew it wasn't going to be comfortable to sit with. But in sitting with that experience and that memory and just kind of accepting like, okay, this is what happened. I did this. Maybe I'm not proud of this, right? Whatever the case may be, but fully experiencing this memory and these emotions that are coming up and accepting that is the truth. It is real. Whether or not I'm happy about it. That memory ceased to come up for me. And a little caveat, little disclaimer here. It still comes up now and again, right? But when it does, it's far and few between. And this particular memory doesn't hold the power that it once did because it's not a surprise guest. It's not like an unwelcome guest when it shows up anymore. Now it's like an old friend. It's like someone that I know well. It's not a memory that I don't know every corner, every secret about. You know what I mean? It's like I know it intrinsically. And I think that in itself has taken a lot of its power away over me and helped me to process this experience. Because also, surprise, these memories that are coming back that we don't want to have are probably trauma related. They probably have everything to do with us peeling our onions. So, surprise, this is going to help with that. Next time, your homework now, tonight, tomorrow, is to, the next time you have one of these unbidden memories come up and rear its ugly face, just look it right in the face, give it a nod, and let it say what it's going to say. You know who you are. You know who you are. You know who you want to be. You know the path that you're on. You know where you're headed. You know what I mean? And you also know what your past is. So the past is just that, the past. It can't hurt you here. So I challenge you to look that memory right in the eyes, give it the nod, and accept it, whatever that means, and see how you feel afterwards. And by no means is this the end of this memory or going to be the conclusion of a chapter. All of the things that we talk about on this channel, borrowing the giraffe girl, are tools to be used as part of a whole, right? They're all just individual tools that help with little different bits and pieces of this recovery thing. And I wish it was less complicated. It's just not. It can't be. So, no, but all of these tools are just that. They're just tools. So you can't just use one of them. You gotta use everything at your disposal. So this is a good one. The next time one of those memory comes up, look it in the face and accept it. Get to know it a little bit better. Why does it bother me? Why am I running from this or burying this memory? What about this, is wrong? What about this am I not about? And for me, this particular memory that I'm thinking of, I didn't feel like I handled myself very well. I felt like I had done something dishonest. I also felt like, looking back on my mind state, I don't know why. I can't understand why I put myself in this place doing these things with these people. It's just such it's ridiculous from a sober-minded standpoint. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to look at that part of me, that part that does things that don't make sense, that part that does dishonest things, Um, but I did those things. That memory is a memory. It's not a story. It's real. So I accept it. And, this happened. This happened. I'm not that person today. Right. And it's okay. All we can do is move forward. For some reason, one of our natural instincts is to drag around this ball and chain, this huge heavy weight that is all of the things that we've done and all of the things that we wish we had done differently, and all of our baggage. And it would be a whole lot easier if we could just let that weight go. And it's a lot easier said than done, but it will behoove you a lot if you can make these things weigh less, which is what this method does, right? Accepting that memory, looking it in the eyes, and I did this, and I'm living different now. That tiny little moment, and that tiny little thought process in reaction to that memory has so much power and huge implications for your life. And believe me when I say this, you got to try it. You've got to try it. You just have to. Ben Bacon Bits, a bunch of those I have read. That's just my small book collection. Ooh, I turned around and started reading them. That's not true. I think I've read 3 of those books cover to cover. Most of those are self-help books. I get gifted a lot of self-help books. I shouldn't say that. Historically, I have been gifted a lot of self-help books, mostly from family members that thought that I could benefit from them as a troubled teen. But they're not my favorite kinds of books. They're really hard for me to read, so that stack is predominantly unread self-help gift books. Also, the I Ching, the Bible, and some Star Wars and Stephen King are over there. So I've read the recovery stuff, and I've read that Star Wars book. Tommy Bird says, "You're right, Captain. The past can't hurt us now, but I always had a hard time letting the past be past because 1, it happened, and 2, our past creates our now, us today." I agree, and I can totally relate with his experience thoroughly, dude. We are like the product of our experiences, right? But moving forward, what I choose to do, that's all within my control, right? We may be the product of our experiences, but that doesn't they don't define us. You know what I mean? There's a lot more to us than just where we've been and what we've done. There's what's in our heart. There's that we could make a huge list. That one thing, what's in our heart, could be a million things all by itself, right? But there's a lot more to us than just where we've been and what we've done. Although they do make up a lot of us. But yeah, you can't live and die on that hill. We all make mistakes. Odds are you're going to make some pretty hefty mistakes in your lifetime. Are you gonna just let that one moment in time be who you are? I don't think so. We are closing in on Tink time, Brazy. Oh my. I've done that too, actually, unfortunately. It's not like my proudest moment to look back on. This is totally this situation for me could have been my example, but it wasn't. It's like not a proud moment, but also like a proud moment for me standing my ground and like setting firm boundaries, but also like I wish that I didn't have to tell you to get out. I I don't want to tell stories about my failed love life, so I'm not gonna. That reminds me of so many things, though, dude. Ugh. We have got your back, Gigi. We appreciate you. No sweat. I don't know if you have anything to apologize for. I love that you're getting involved, Gigi. I love it. I would have to say, if you're having a physical reaction to those thoughts, they've probably built up to a point. You may benefit from just letting that happen one time. Obviously, protect your neck, right? Protect your body, but I mean, it's like bottling up emotions. I feel like it might just be like getting more and more pressurized the more you ignore it. I know that was true for me. So just be real careful, Gigi. Be real careful. Just joining in, Sierra Terry. Big hugs. Were we talking dreams? Did I scroll up way far? I probably hecka did. I may have responded to it, Sierra Terry. I was just in there. I did not get through everything. So if I did not respond, it's coming this evening. Bless to Crochet says, kind of why I shared my 2013 with the lifeboat crew, because I felt like that was such a heavy year for me, but I made it through and I wanted to show you difficult times. I bet you feel better after sharing it. Got a lot of weight off your heart, I imagine. I see you, Brazy girl. I need to get my cousin to drive me down there. I've been making plans for it. I think maybe Tuesday or Wednesday is what he had said would work for him. Oh, no sweat, Sierra Terry. I have so much going on, and there's like so many moving pieces and different conversations happening all at once. I like to address things as soon as I see them because it helps me organize stuff in my head. So I just read that and I just wanted to respond immediately because it helps me. Because then I know, like, yeah. Well, I think I might just go to Tink time. I thought the giraffe girl was going to be more material, you know? I thought the giraffe girl was going to make me laugh a little more too, but that's okay. Ooh, I put those crushed peppers on my pizza today and very nice. Did we do the jacked this morning, Brazy? Do you remember? Is this what we did this morning? I think that's what we did this morning. going to get on Discord and message Tara immediately, and I'm going to tell her, guess what we talked about today? The giraffe girl. Did a whole half a show on it. That was bigger drop than this morning. Visually so. Wow. It's such an interesting sensation. You can feel it spread across your tongue, but also as you're feeling it spread, you're like losing feeling at the same time. So it's like you feel sensation and then there's nothing. Ugh. But also then there's the spice. It's such a weird thing. Very unique. So whole tongue, brow sweat. I think I'm at like a 4. It's climbing. Definite brow sweat. I can feel the sweat like in my eye sockets. You ever get like sweat like right here on the bags where your eye bags are? That's like the first thing to sweat on me, my brow and my eye bags. And that may be the peak. We might stop at 4 today. But I mean, it's just now hitting my stomach. It's interesting. I haven't talked to Uncle Johnny in a while, Brazy. I was thinking about him today. I was like playing out funny scenarios and I was making fun of him and like daydreaming, and then just I was thinking of him fondly, and generally thinking of my uncle fondly. You all know him. You all love him. If you like his guitar playing, you should hear him play the dulcimer. It's Johnny Scoville. I was just kind of messing around. But yeah, I'll have to reach out and see how he's doing. Hopefully, he's like halfway done writing that book, Hopefully, he's almost done with that there screenplay thing. He's been known to chase the heat. If you like his guitar, you'll love his dulcimer. It's Johnny Scoville. No? I believe that's Mama Scoville. I should drop in, though. Historically, they don't get along the best. I probably should go give Squirrel some love, huh? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that this week. Where can I purchase this elixir? I don't know, Gigi. I'm going to have to find out. All of these were given to me by my father or my uncle. I know that this one has my dad's face on it, so we probably have this. I will have to find out. Let's reconvene tomorrow, Gigi, or next time I see you, I will have a proper answer because I need some new ones anyways. And this is not the first time I've been asked this question. I should have an answer. We should have some Scoville family Tink, I feel like. I guess that's what the Tommy Tink is, but Tink source. These, I guess, I'll do my due diligence, GG. These are made by a company called Pressed Capsation Company. I'm going to type it in. I wish they didn't use cursive print for this label because it's hard to tell what the letters are. Just 1 minute while I translate. So that's how it's written on the bottle. Maybe M pressed capsation is 3 words. You just can't tell. Whoever the graphic designer was on this thing, sorry, you just didn't do a good job. It is what it is, You could have done better. I love the product though. Love the product. feel like especially for like marketing and advertising, your name needs to be legible. That's just how I feel about that. But I don't know if you can find anything about that company. That's who made every single one of the tinctures that I have. Yeah. Okay, so different labels are not cursive, so I take that back. It was just the first couple that were in cursive. So I did spell it right. And M pressed capsation is 3 words. So this evening, Brazy Girl, I'm gonna do a little bit of social activity in the Discord. See what my folks are doing. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna go to bed early. I was feeling mighty tired again today. Although I might need to take the trash out. I'm starting to see gnats again. Maybe it's time. Maybe I do a quick clean of the kitchen, take a shower, and go to bed. Something like that. Not too much crazy. I think whatever's going on in my mouth is taken away from my general energy. So yeah, I'll probably just go to bed. All right, y'all. Hit that like, subscribe, and the bell for notifications if you like what we do here. The Admiral will be live tonight at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, and I'm supposed to advertise something else for my pops. Nope, it's gone. Oh, that's right. So this week I have some extra stuff coming up. Those of you that waited, thank you for waiting. I have some shows on Conversations with Christy this week and next week. On the 29th, hold on. There's so much information here. On Friday, May 24th at 1 p.m. Central, that is, I believe, 11 a.m. Pacific time, I will be on Conversations with Christy. On Wednesday, May 29th at 1 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Pacific, I will be on Conversations with Christy. The 24th, that Friday, is Men's Emotions. Ben Bacon Bits and I are going to appear magically, and we're going to discuss it with Christy. It's going to be great. Hope you guys come out to support. And then we're going to do this connection thing on May 29th at 1 p.m. Central. So that should be a continuation on subject matter that we cover here. I'm a big fan of Conversations with Christy and everything she does over there. I think that Christy thinks that the astrology isn't a boat topic, and I'm not certain that it is, but I don't necessarily think that it's not either. It's in the spiritual vein, right? It's on that spiritual, I don't know if we should talk about it note kind of thing, but so far, especially recently, we've been making it through these topics pretty well. So I'm not convinced that all of that stuff isn't boat material just yet, Christy. And I'm really excited to be on your channel this week. So yeah, hope you guys all have a great evening. We'll see you